Round 9 of the Monster Energy Supercross season takes place in Atlanta this weekend, and joining me just from up the road there in Georgia, Jared Lesher. Jared, you've had kind of a full day getting things ready to go for this weekend. You're racing in your home state. What are those first emotions that kind of present itself as you begin your preparations for a weekend of racing like this?
A lot of excitement. I'm excited to see everybody that I've met over the years since I've been here, family, friends. It's kind of a laid-back environment this weekend. I get to sleep in my own bed the night before the race, so that's something that doesn't ever happen unless we're in Atlanta. So all of that's very, very exciting. Obviously, the dirt I'm very familiar with, riding in red clay all the time. Things of that nature. I feel, obviously very at home, and it just I don't have to drive to this one. I'm only driving 40 minutes as opposed to 12 to 13 hours, one way. So there's a lot of different variables that go into a home race, but more excited than anything. I think that's kind of the biggest emotion right now. It's just I'm ready to get out there and just ready to put on a show for everybody.
I'm going to come back to talking about racing in front of friends and family and kind of all the different emotions that come with that. But let's talk about the dirt. What people don't understand is that dirt is not just dirt across the board. There's so many different aspects of dirt no matter where you are across the nation in all the different race venues. What makes the red clay so different than other races?
A lot of it, I think, is just because of how sticky it is. You don't realize until you ride in it, all the time that, the sticky dirt and the little lines will pull your wheels one way or the other, and you don't really realize it until you ride in the stuff a lot. And obviously, red clay, it gets down to that hard base, which there are different types of dirt that do that. But once you get down to a hard base in red clay, I mean, it's like slick concrete. I mean, it's like watered down concrete. But whenever you have that layer on top of that, that soft, loamy clay, man, it's the most fun to ride in. I mean, you cannot beat, that red clay riding in it.
This track is known to have a brutal sand section, and it's not just a small sand section. It's got some space. So you go from riding something that's very tacky and has all those elements of the red clay like you just talked about to just fluff. How do you prepare for a transition to go from that type of compound of dirt to just chaos of sand?
There's a few different things you can kind of try to do, but sand is a very it's a very tough obstacle when you put it on a supercross track with very stiff suspension. So you never really know what's going to happen when you hit the sand. You kind of just got to squeeze, lean back, and stay as still as you can on the bike, because you don't want that bike upsetting, because the second it does, I mean, you don't know which way it's going to go. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge going from that real sticky red clay to that wishy-washy sand and not really having any traction at all. I guess Tampa was kind of like that. It wasn't near as tacky as Atlanta or the red clay up here, but the first couple practices, the track was tacked up, but the sand, it was basically beach sand. So you would hit that sand and it would just explode, and you didn't know what was about to happen until it kind of got grooves in it to where you could kind of ride through, and then it was a little different. But this weekend they have a full-blown straightaway. I guess the entire turn right before the Supercross triple as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, how everybody kind of handles that and carries themselves through it.
Circling back to racing in front of friends and family, it's kind of a catch-22. Like you said, on one hand, you get to sleep in your own bed, but two, that could come with some added pressure to kind of perform and do the best, because you want to be able to showcase your talents in your sport to friends and family. Do you find that there's an added pressure anywhere for you this weekend, or are you just going to go out, handle business like normal, and just enjoy some time with friends and family?
Yeah, I think it's more of it's more of a laid-back environment this weekend. I don't feel as pressured just because I'm at home. I don't have to drive that distance. Like I said, I get to sleep in my own bed. All those things kind of, I mean, it's still a race weekend, but it doesn't feel as much of a, one of those times where I'm driving, 15 hours to a track. I kind of expect almost more out of myself because I put that time in. This weekend was seeing everybody, kind of just, it'll be more of a chill weekend. I feel like last year, I don't remember I don't remember my nerves ever getting to me in Atlanta. I felt like I probably rode the best that I ever had, just because I don't know. I guess I was just comfortable, and I rode like myself. So hopefully we can kind of find that again. That's the goal. That's always the goal.
Having the race in Atlanta this weekend means that you get to be in this position, talking about the race, previewing the race, and doing activities surrounding it to build up the culture around Supercross. What has been your favorite thing, being able to promote the sport and being able to talk about it to showcase what your love and passion is for racing?
Well, one of the things we got to do today, I got to do a few books, read to kids, 3 to 5 years old. I have the bike in the background, obviously, with the cool backdrop. So that was one of the cool things to do. I don't get to do things like this often, so I really enjoy when I do get to do something like this. Kind of it just explained and gave, a rundown of different things that, some of the parents or some of the kids might have had, questions that they might have had. And just kind of giving them a rundown of safety, and some of them ask about injuries, and just going through the different things that motocross and supercross brings. This is a different sport than most, if any. So there's obviously a lot of questions that come behind it, but no, I really enjoy doing this kind of stuff. I think that it obviously helps build the sport, and also helps me as a rider and as a person. So I enjoy it.
Best of luck and best of health, and thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you, Tyler.